Welcome back to the show. We are with Christchurch Mayoral Candidate Jim Anderton. I have several pre-written pledges that you have an opportunity to sign. And
Pledges have a bad name with me since Alamane Corpu. She signed one of those too.
She was a marvellous woman, wasn't she?
You may well say that. I couldn't possibly comment.
I have a pledge with respect to your future parliamentary career. The first pledge is a commitment to step down from the seat of Wigram and permanently retire from Parliament at the next election. Will you sign it?
Absolutely. I've already said that. If I say something, I mean it. And that's my history and track record, so I'll sign that, no problem.
There you go. That's 1 out of 1. Now, the second pledge is a commitment that average residential rates rises will not exceed the rate of inflation in the following 3 years if you are mayor. Can you sign that?
Well, I can say that they won't be more than the rate of inflation in the year they're set. I can't tell you what the rate of inflation is 3 years' time. No one can. But I can tell you that I will work as hard as I can to keep rates down to the level of or below the rate of inflation. And you can only do that in each of the years you're there, and 1 year after the other.
Well, you can sign up to that, can't you?
Yes, I can, if that's what it says. I thought you said that 3 years later, for the next 3 years, well, you don't know what's going to be
year on year.
Oh, year on year. If that's what you mean. Oh, yes, sure.
Yes, it is absolutely on the annual basis.
Yep.
Yes. Well, look at that, 2 out of 2. Can we get 3 out of 3? We're going for the hat-trick here, Jim. The third pledge is a pledge from Jim Anderton that he will abstain from advocating for the fluoridation of Christchurch water if you are elected to the office of mayor and for the full duration of that tenure.
I've also
said you sign that?
I favour a national position as a health measure, and it has to be done at a national level, not a local level. It's rubbish because you keep putting it in and taking it out, and it's just hopeless.
So you will not advocate
for it in Christchurch? No, I'll advocate that we have a national position on fluoridation, and it be done as a result of inquiry with everyone having their say and Parliament making a decision.
All right.
All right.
Okay, very good. Now, Bob Parker is very proud of the fact that Christchurch is the only major council in the country with a AA credit rating in the country. That is testament to Tony Marriott's superb financial management, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's testament to previous councils that have had a very prudent and relatively conservative approach to financing, and I give credit to previous councils. This council is heading in the wrong direction in that regard. Bob has taken it as a bit of a licence, because we've got a good credit rating and we've got relatively low debt, to whack in a lot of debt. Now, if you start taking in underground car parks and light rail and all the other things that Bob's talked about, and you add all that up, you start getting up past $1 billion, heading towards $2 billion, and that starts to put up to 40% of all rate income paying off interest and debt repayment, and then you're in trouble.
Do you want the City Council...
By the way, I haven't got one single question answered to all those questions I put in yet.
You're still waiting?
Oh, yes.
All right.
I've been waiting for quite a while.
Although you threw a lot at them after the meeting, didn't you?
Well, I was promised answers by the next Wednesday.
Yes.
That was 2 weeks ago.
Do you want the City Council to do all its banking with KiwiBank?
Well, it'd be a nice idea. I know KiwiBank quite well. I could arrange a meeting.
What can be achieved in 3 years if you become mayor? What realistically do you want to see done 3 years from now?
Democratisation of the council. Clearly, people aren't happy with that. Revitalisation of the inner city. I'd give myself 3 years to show what could be done. There's enough opportunity to do it, and if it isn't done, then that'll be a failure. I want to see housing partnerships with a range of institutions, both community and private sector, to get the inner city revitalised and people in there. I want to see some long-term planning about prioritising the expenditure that we're going to do, so that we actually have it on the table for people to understand what is going to be spent, why that's a priority over this, and we have a prudent approach to it all. And ultimately, I want the people of Christchurch to feel that it's their city again, because it was when I came here, and in the last few years it's drifted away, and it has been almost a disenfranchisement of people, and I want that restored.
Do you intend to be a one-term mayor like Bob?
Can't say that. I can say that, you know, 6 months ago the idea of even thinking about standing for the mayoralty didn't even occur to me, and I tried very hard to get a lot of other people to do it. So I'm doing it, and I'll do it to the best of my ability, which I think will be more than enough to get this job done. Then we'll see. And I think you have to take it like that, because no one can guarantee that they're not going to get hit by a truck when they walk across the pedestrian crossing.
Is it highly likely, though, that this may just be a one-term position?
No, it's not highly likely at all. But you know, I heard Bob just a couple of months ago say that he wanted 9 years. In fact, I think he said it on your program.
He did.
That's right. Well, there we are.
We will have Jim Anderton and Bob Parker with us in a few weeks' time. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Mike.
Before we go, the pick of the week. Spring has technically sprung, right? We've got some hideous winter weather bearing down on us now. This image is a reminder that sometimes spring is just around the corner. Now, last week's question with the NewsMakers poll, should it be an offence to be drunk in a public place? 54% of you said yes, 46% no, the prize winner Jay Maher. This week's question, what is the key election issue? We're going to throw this open to you, so just give us one word, one theme, one topic that you think defines this election campaign. You can email newsmakers@ctv.co.nz, vote on the web or the post. Do so and you'll be in to win Melody Gardo's compilation CD and also the finest, freshest coffee from Starbucks. I think that's what's powering all of our mayoral candidates at the moment. Bob Parker will be with us next week for a one-on-one. Thank you very much for your company. Thanks once again to Jim Anderton. Have a good weekend. Keep warm, keep dry. Goodbye.